If you think it is possible, please raise your hand. If you think it is impossible, please raise your hand. Yeah, impossible. But if you go to 7-Eleven, you buy a battery, then you measure it. What is the battery's ripple? 0, right? So battery is perfect. But now you design DC to DC buck converter to replace battery. But why cannot you design a 6-volt DC without ripple? The reason is without ripple, what is capacitor? Infinity. You need infinity capacitor. What is your inductance? Infinity. So can you design infinity capacitor or infinity inductance? No. And what is the switching frequency? Infinity. So in our world, everything is limited. So if you do the research for a DC to DC converter, what is important? You have to claim your specification. What is your specification? What is my frequency, switching frequency? What is my output ripple? What is my efficiency, right? You have to claim your specification performance. Then you try to reach your specification. Then you will ask one question: how can I decide my specification? So how do I know what is the frequency? If I said my frequency is 5 kHz, is it okay? Then in general people say it is too low, right? Because for a DC to DC converter, you maybe need 100 kHz. Then what is my ripple? Can I say 0 millivolt? People say, no, it is impossible. Can I say 1 volt? It is too huge. So what is your ripple? You could say maybe 1 millivolt. What is your efficiency? Can I say my efficiency is 120%? Impossible. Can I say my efficiency is 1%? Too low. So what is your efficiency? Maybe you can say 87% or 90%. So my question is, how do you know your specification? How can you decide your specification? So if you want to go to Taipei train station, then you ask people, how long do I need? People say 1 hour. Then they say, it is not correct, it is too long, right? Then they say 5 minutes. It is impossible, it is too short. Then how do you know how much time do you need from here to Taipei train station? So you have to calculate the working time from here to Gongguan MRT station. And you have to calculate the time you have to wait for the MRT train. And you have to calculate from Gongguan station to Taipei train station. So totally could be 30 minutes. Then you have a spare about 30 minutes. So how do you know? So this is experience. Experiences. If you work in the field, then you should know, right? This is your experience. No people can teach you. So you have to work in this field. You have to use your own brain. Then you can understand. So in the real world, engineer is a trade-off. What is trade-off? Trade-off means compromise. So you say, I need a 0 volt, then impossible. You say, I need 10 kilohertz, then it is too low. So we have to between the desire and the real to compromise. So if you want to design a DC to DC buck converter, you have to learn experience, you have to learn specification, and you have to learn physical and the idea. Otherwise, you cannot design. So now we go back to the waveform. What is VA? VA is here. If you turn on, then VA is VS. If you turn off, then diode turn on, then it becomes 0. So on, off, like this. If we assume this is 12 volt, then this is 12 volt. When diode on, it is 0 volt. Then how about the inductor? Current. So what is inductor current? So we can see VL. What is VL? VL is voltage from here to here, right? Here to here. So what is VL? VL is if the switch turn on, then it is equal to VS. If the switch off, then it is equal to 0. How about this one? Always VO, right? So if the switch on, then VL is V in or VS minus VO. So if the switch on, then this is VS, this is VO, this is plus, this is minus. So VL is VS minus VO. Okay. Then how about VL, LDI, LDT? So how about DI, LDT? It is equal to VS minus VO divided by L, right? So you from the math you can obtain this one. So how about IL? It is initial value plus VS minus VO L, and then dt. So integration of dt becomes t, or delta t. So you can see what is VS 12 volt, what is VO 5 volt. 12 volt minus 5 volt become what? 7 volt. So this is 7 volt. This is positive, T is positive. So do you think this one is increase or decrease? 7 volt, L 1 millihenry, T increase. Then this item is increase or decrease? Increase. So it is increase. So you can see increase, right? On the other hand, when the switch is off, then VL is equal to VS minus VO. But how about VS at that moment? Switch is off, diode is on. So what is VS? So this is open. Then this one becomes what? 0, right? So VS becomes 0. 0. And the VO is 5 volt. So it is L, DI, LDT. Then what is DI, LDT? DI, LDT is equal to minus VO divided by L, right? So how about ILT? ILT is IL0 plus minus VO LT. So VO is 5 volt. How about minus VO? Minus 5 volt. L is positive, 1 millihenry, and the T is positive. So how about this time? This time should be decrease, right? So you can see if the Schottky diode turn on, then decrease. If the MOSFET on, increase, decrease, increase, increase. So if you, do you think that the switching frequency should be higher or lower? If the switching frequency is lower, then the interval is larger. If the interval is larger, then it increases to a lot. and decrease, increase, decrease. So the inductor ripple become huge or small? Huge, right? Because this extend. If this extend, then this become higher, and then this become higher. How about the ripple? Ripple become larger. So if you have a longer switching frequency, longer time interval, then what happens? The ripple is increased, right? So if you want to reduce your ripple, what can you do? You have to decrease the interval. If you want to decrease the switching interval, what does this mean? Increase the switching frequency, right? So if you can increase the frequency, then what is the benefit? Your output ripple can be reduced. So it is good for your output ripple. But if I increase my frequency to 1 megahertz, 10 megahertz, then what happens? Switching loss is increased. So switching loss. Increase. If your switching loss increase, then your temperature is increased. Then you burn out your MOSFET. So you get better ripple, but you burn out your MOSFET. Do you like to do this? No. So what should you do? You have to compromise. Not too high, not too low. How much? Experience. Rely on your own experience. So we have to rely on our own experience to determine the switching frequency. So if we have IR like this, then how about the capacitor voltage? It is like this. So we create ripple. So then we can learn this one. We can then learn this one. This is fundamental idea. So how about IR current? Do you think that the IR current touch to zero? Here is zero. If IR current touch to zero, we call the inductor current is what? Discontinuous. Discontinuous. What is discontinuous? It touch to zero. If the inductor current never touch to zero, then how can we call this continuous? So we call this is continuous condition. Continuous condition. And this is the ripple. So we get a very fundamental idea. Then what is the rule? Do you have any rule? Okay. So what is the rule? The rule is like this. This one, this is VA here, VA here. So we can see this one, VA here. So sometimes if this turn on, we get a VS. If this turn off, we get a 0. How about the output? Output is DVS. This is output. So output is here. So output is pure DC. Pure DC. But you say your output never reach steady state because you have ripple. But in this case, we think our ripple is almost 0. So we think our output is here. Then what is the rule? What is the rule? The rule is this area should be equal to this area. So we will discuss later. We will discuss later. So this is continuous condition. How about a discontinuous condition? So discontinuous condition means the current reach 0. Like this. So if in this case, what does this mean? The MOSFET turn on. So VA is equal to VS. If this is here, then the Schottky diode turn on. We have 0. How about here? So now I want to ask you one question. How about the third region? So what is the problem? The problem is now it is discontinuous. So we have discontinuous. So we have this one is VA. What does this mean? Means S on. This one is 0. What does this mean? Means diode on. But then we have next step. The S, this is S on, this is diode on. But here, S off and the diode off. So switch off and the diode off. So what does this mean? So we have discontinuous. So if this turn on, we have current like this. If this turn on, we have current decrease. But after that, the current is 0. So this is IL. So what does the physical meaning of this one? Now we have switch turn off, diode turn off. And we have inductor. The inductor here, IL is 0. And we have capacitor, we have load. So it is like this. So my question is, what is VA? So VA is here. This is VA. Do you think VA is equal to VS? Yes or no? If you think yes, please raise your hand. If you think no, please raise your hand. Because it is open. So VA is not equal to VS, right? Do you think VA is equal to 0? But diode is off. If diode is off, it is not 0, right? So it is not equal to VS. It is not equal to 0. Then my question is, what is VL? Anybody has any idea? We say it is not equal to VS because the switch is turned off, and it is not equal to 0 because the Schottky diode is turned off. Then my question is, what is VL? Anybody has any idea? How can you calculate VL? So VA. How can you calculate the VA? VA is VL plus VC. This is VC, right? So this voltage is equal to this voltage plus this voltage. Okay or not okay? Okay. So what is VL? But now IL is 0. So this is LDILDT plus VC. But this is 0. What is the differential of 0? If you have 0, then what is d0 dt? If you have a constant, what is the value of the differential? 0. So this is 0. So this is 0. This is VC. So this is VC. So if your switch turn off, your diode turn off, then what is VA? VA is equal to VC. What is VC? This is 12 volt. What is this? Oh, sorry. This is 0. And this one becomes 5 volt. Right? So you can see the difference is here. This is switch turn on VS, diode turn on 0. This is switch turn off and the diode turn off become VO. VO is equal to VC. Then switch turn on VS, diode turn on 0. Switch turn off, diode turn off VO. So what is the average voltage VO? VO is equal to VS dt. This is dt. 0 d prime t plus VO 1 minus d minus d prime t. So this item divided by t. Then we can see Vs dt. This is Vot here, minus dVot minus d prime Vot equal to Vot, right? Then we can delete this one, then we have this item and this item. So Vs dt equal to Vo dt plus d prime t. Then Vo is equal to Vs dt divided by dt plus d prime t. So Vo is equal to Vs d plus d prime. Okay. So we can calculate the relationship. It is different because if the system is continuous, then Vo is dVs before, if it is continuous. But now Vo is not equal to dVs. It is equal to d divided by d plus d prime Vs. Right? They are different. They are different. Okay? So this is different. And then how about IP? IP is here. Vo minus Vs minus Vo. Vs minus Vo. L dt. So this is the peak current. So if you do the research on DC to DC buck converter, you have to check if the system works at continuous or discontinuous. You cannot directly say, oh, it is continuous. Then I write down all mathematical formula, then you are wrong because it could be discontinuous. So you have to check before you write down anything. Okay. So if we have continuous and discontinuous, then the situation is different. Then can we use energy balance to develop the relationship? What is energy balance? We have input energy, right? We have output energy. So input energy is equal to the loss of energy plus output energy. Can we do this way? Yes or no? Yes, because energy is balanced. So you can see input energy is equal to output energy. So what is output energy? Output energy, we have resistance. So this is output power, Vo squared divided by R. So this is output power. Output power multiplied by time. So this is output energy. It is clear, right? How about input voltage? Input voltage, input energy. So what is input energy? How can we calculate input energy? So you can use this circuit. We have Vs, we have Is, and we have switch. We have diode, inductor, capacitor, and resistance. So this is Vs, this is Is. So this is input. So what is input power? Input power is P in. It is Vs multiplied by Is, right? What is input energy? Input energy is input power integration, right? Power integration become energy. So we can see input power is input energy is input power dt integration. So you can see from 0 to dt. So you can see this one. So we have the waveform. So the VA is here. VA is here. So Vs and then 0 and then Vo. And then we have current like this. So what is the energy? Here, this is 0. So V input energy here is 0 because open. So 0 multiplied by current is 0. 0 integration still 0, right? So only this part have energy. So we have to calculate Vs Is dt from here to here. So this is Ts, but here is dTs. So we only integral 0 to dt. This one is 0. This one is also 0. Okay. So Vs here, Is is Ip dt. So dt from 0 to dt. Then we can get this one. And finally we can get this one. So this is input energy. This is output energy here. So input energy should be equal to what? Output energy. Because energy always balanced. So if you are the first person who developed this relationship, what can you get? A PhD, a patent, right? Because this is a new idea. I do not operate from circuit, I operate from energy. Because energy should be balanced. Input energy should be equal to energy loss plus output energy for everything, right? So you can use this rule to calculate the energy should be balanced. Then input energy equal to output energy. Then you can develop this one. So this is your result. So how about I/O? I/O is VOR. Then you can calculate the I/O speed. So you can use energy balance to develop your own mathematical formula. Then you can get a degree because this is new idea. So now, if we have inductor here, so what is an inductor? Inductor is a coil, right? So if you have inductor, then inductor is like a coil. So if you have a coil, you have inductance, right? But if you have a coil, do you have resistance? If you have a coil, then you have inductance. But do you think it also have resistance? Because it is a line, right? The line should be create resistance. So you have to put inductor to inductance and the resistance. So this is your output. This is your input. So my question is, do you think your previous analysis is correct? This one, do you think it is correct? No. Why? You have inductance here. You have resistance here, right? But why can you remove resistance? Here you say resistance is 0. Why? Because if you consider resistance, you cannot develop anything. It is too hard, right? If you think resistance is 0, you can draw this picture. If the resistance is not 0, you cannot draw this picture. Then you cannot graduate. So you want graduation, so you have to assume resistance is 0. But is it correct? No, it is not correct. So you have to consider resistance, right? So then, can you use this way? No, you have to use energy. Otherwise, you have no method to develop the whole theory. So we have to use energy. And then we use this circuit, and we say the input power is equal to the power loss, plus the output power. So then we can develop a new circuit. Then what can you get? A PhD, because you consider more. So now we discuss boost converter. If you want to increase your output, what can you do? Now I want to increase my output voltage. What can I do? So you have input voltage here, right? Input voltage here. But if you need output is larger than input, then what can you do? Before you have switch here, right? So then you say in the circuit, what do we learn? If you learn electrical circuit, there is one theory they call duality, right? If you say current, what is the duality of current? Voltage. If you say current loop, then what is the duality of voltage loop? If you say inductive, if you say resistance, what is the duality? Conductance. If you say Thevenin theory, then you have Norton theory, right? We call this is duality. If you have voltage source, what is duality? Current source. Okay. So now, some people say we can use duality. You have series switch. What is the duality? Parallel switch. Okay. So series switch, parallel switch. If you have diode, what is the duality of diode? This is shunt diode. Then the duality is series diode. Series diode. If you have inductor, then what is the duality of the inductor? So you move to here, you have inductor here. So this is duality. If you have capacitor, then you have load. So load still need capacitor. You have load, you have load. So they use the duality. Say we can convert Vs here, inductor move to here, switch, series become parallel, diode shunt become series. Then the two things keep the same. So we get this circuit. So what can you get? A PhD. So do you like this? Yes. I spend one day, then I get a PhD. So what is this theory? So you have to learn fundamental theory, right? Then you have your own idea. So the idea is here. So then, if you turn on this one, what happens? What is VA? Become 0. So 0. If you turn off this one, then the stored energy go to here. If the stored energy go to here, the output become very huge, large than Vs, so become here. So in here, you increase inductor current. But now, you can see VA is larger than Vs. This one is larger than this one. So plus, minus. This is larger than Vs, plus, minus. So this become negative. So current become decrease, right? Because the VL is negative. So if the switch turn off, then VL is negative. So VL is Vs minus Va. So then we can get decreased current. And then we turn on switch again, then the inductor current increase. Then we turn off the switch, then VO is large, then Vs, then the current decrease. So how about the diode? The diode current, when the switch on, they go this way. So here is 0, here is maybe 30 volt. So do you think the diode should be turned on or turned off? Turn off, right? So if this is 0, this is 30 volt, then diode is turned off. So 0 ampere. If this turn off, then go this way. Then diode is turned on. We have huge current. So we can develop this waveform. So Vs, so what is Vs? This one is Vs, is the average of 0 dt plus 1 minus dt. This is VO divided by T. So it is 1 minus dVO. So VO is equal to Vs 1 minus D. What is duty? Duty cycle cannot be over 1, right? Cannot be below 0. So it could be 0.5. 1 minus 0.5 become 0.5. Vs divided by 0.5 become 2 Vs. So VO is larger than Vs, right? So you can see the relationship because duty is between 1 and 0. So VO is larger than VS. So if you have this idea, then you can prove I can design this boost converter. If you are the first person to design the boost converter, then what happens? You get a degree, PhD degree. Then what happens? You get a patent, right? Then what happens? You become rich. Because everybody use this circuit should pay you royalty. So you just collect money. Do you like to do this? Yes. But why can you think about this? Because when I study electrical circuit, I didn't pay much attention, right? So some people develop this circuit and they get PhD, they get patent, they get rich. How about this continues? So if you turn on, current increase. If you turn off, then current reach 0. And then here become Vs. And then 0, VO, Vs. So become this way. The same as the buck converter. So we can calculate Vs is 0 dt, VO d prime t plus this one, E1 minus d prime t Vs divided by t. So we can move t to here, then this one, and this one is 0. This one copy to here, this one copy to here, and then this one copy to here, this one copy to here. And finally we can get the relationship like this. So you can see D is always positive. D prime always positive. How about this item? Always positive. This is 1. 1 plus something else positive. This should be larger than 1. So you can see VO is larger than VS. So it is boost converter. Boost converter. So you can develop boost converter. How about this continuous? The same idea. Output energy should be equal to input energy. How about output energy? Output voltage square divided by R. This is output power multiplied by time. This is output energy. How about input energy? It is here. So output energy equal to input energy. Then we can develop more. So we have this circuit, this waveform, and then we can show the relationship is like this. Then we can develop this one. So if you consider you have resistance here, then you have to use energy balance, right? So we can develop the relationship, which is very complicated. So finally, we get this result. So how can you prove this result is correct? Do you have any idea? So finally you get this one, and your advisor asks you, how can you guarantee your math is correct? Then how can you do this? So your relationship is like this. Is like this, right? How can you guarantee your result is correct? You can say it is quite simple. We can assume desired case RL is equal to 0, right? If in this desired case, we have to go back to the original one, right? So if RL is 0, then this is 0. We remove this one. This is 0. Then how about this one? So originally you have this formula, right? If L is 0, it is equal to the original one. Then you can say, I can guarantee my result is correct. Because I can go back, right? So if RL is 0, then this is the relationship. So now we develop the buck converter. and boost converter. Then your advisor say, how can we design a converter which includes buck and a boost? Then you say it is easy. What can we do? We can design a buck and a boost. So what can we do? We can design buck. Buck. This is buck, right? This is buck. And we can design boost. So here, we get the voltage here, and then we have induct here. Then we have switch here. Then we have induct here. Then we have this one and this one. So we put this one. So this is buck. This is boost. And we call this is buck boost, right? Do you think this is a good idea? You want to create a paper. You copy A and copy B, combine, become C. You say this is my paper. Do you think it is correct? No, it is not correct. Because what's new? Nothing new, right? So one student, his advisor asked him to design a buck boost converter. So how can he do this? He cannot say, oh, this is my buck boost, because it is useless. Everybody learn it. Then he said, oh, I can create my own buck boost. I only use one converter. So how can I do this? I have VS, then I have switch, very similar. I have switch, so very similar to this. But now I change the diode to inductor, and I change my inductor into diode, and then I change this one. I keep the same, and this one I keep the same. Then this is my circuit. So how many circuit, how many devices do you use? How many devices does the person use? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? How about original? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So does he add any device? No. That's it. But it increases buck and boost together. So do you think this is a new idea? Originally, you just have air conditioner. Then you buy a heater. Then you think it is too complicated. I buy an air conditioner and a heater. Can I buy one machine which can provide both air conditioner and the heater? Then this is new idea because I can save space, right? So he developed this circuit, and then he got a PhD. Then you say, why he can create this, but I cannot? Because you need to conduct, right? You need to think. You need to learn circuit. So he proposed this idea. Then what happens if this turn off? Then we have this one. Then input is VS. Then if you turn off, then the diode will go here, go here. If the diode go here, then this is minus, this is plus. Diode is 0, this become minus, plus, so we can get negative VO, right? And then if this turn on again, the voltage is VS. If this turn off, this turn on, then the inductor voltage is minus VO. If this is Vs, then what happened? The inductor current increase. If this is this one, then the current decrease, increase, decrease. And how about this current? If this turn on, then this one turn off, so 0. If this turn off, then diode turn on, then this is equal to this. So you have this part portion to here. but here is 0. Then you can get the output like this. So you can see the diolectric current is like this. And how about this one? It will become minus, plus, minus, plus. So your output current should be negative, right? Your output voltage is what? Negative. So now I have a question. If you have a positive voltage, do you like to create negative output? We think this is good. I have a positive voltage, but I create negative output. Do you like this? No. So can you improve this circuit? If you can improve, then tomorrow you can get PhD. Because this is my idea, right? So anybody can go back and think, can I convert the output into positive and negative? But until now, no one can do this. Because no, this is the only way. Why we have to get negative? Because you have to increase your inductor current. You also have to decrease your inductor current. If you want to decrease your inductor current, then the VA should be negative, right? Otherwise, you always positive, then go to infinity. So you need positive voltage, you need negative voltage. So you can see the VO should be negative. So someone developed this circuit, and this circuit is quite well because I only use 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 the same, but I can get back and boost together. But what is the disadvantage? You get negative voltage. So negative voltage is not good because we need positive voltage. So this is the back boost converter. So we can do the analyze. The output is always negative. So we say this is disadvantage. But can you improve it? You can go back to sleep, to think. If you can do it, you can graduate soon. Because this is new idea. And this is steady state. We have to follow the volt-second balance. And you can calculate this one, inductor current, inductor voltage should be 0. Then you can develop the relationship. So Vs is input voltage, positive. D is positive. 1 minus D is positive. So this one is positive. Positive become positive, but you have negative sign here. So you always guarantee output is what? Negative. How about duty? If the duty is 0.5, 1 minus 0.5 is 0.5, 0.5, then VO is minus Vs. If D is small, 0.1, 0.9, then 1 divided by 9, then it is back. If D is huge, 0.9, 1 minus 0.9 become 0.1, 0.9 divided by 0.1 become 9 times. Then it is boost. So you can control duty to control buck or boost. If the duty is higher, then you become boost converter. If the duty is lower, if the duty is small, then it is buck. If duty is higher, then it becomes boost. If duty is 0.5, then it is equal. So we can design buck boost. So it is great. So we use the same circuit but different structure. Then we can combine air conditioner and the heater, but only one circuit. So do you think this is a good idea? If you want to design air conditioner and a heater, you don't need to put a heater device. You don't need to put an air conditioner device. You only use one device. Then you can obtain 2 functions. So this is great. So I think we can stop here. We will have 10 minutes break.